Many of you have asked me to take a look at this footage again because you say I missed something when I first showed it. And holy cow, you were right. Remember, this woman was out for a run when this van followed her and then stopped right in front of her. But when you zoom in, you see just how serious this man was. As you can tell through the window, he was ready.
This van rode by me when I was on my drive, when I was on my run. And there they go speeding off. They went around the block, came up on me with the door open, with the side door open. I jumped this ditch and they stopped right there.
This happened in Maryland, so please be careful.
Let me go in there. Huh? Let me make sure nobody in here. Hello? See? There go man. There goes the man. See what I'm saying? There's the man. You know this is the women's bathroom, right? Sorry. That's the women's bathroom. A man in the women's bathroom. That's why you gotta go in here with your kids. Let me make sure nobody else ain't in here. Let me make sure. So you gotta go in there with your kids. Make sure no man in the damn bathroom.
Police surround a shed with guns drawn. They take into custody a scary-looking dude with facial tattoos. Then cops enter the shed. They are looking for someone. Is there somebody up there in the loft? It's an unforgettable sight. A ghostly figure slowly makes her way down a ladder. That's not makeup she's wearing. She's got two black eyes. Police say 23-year-old Chloe Jones was beaten with a baseball bat and held in the shed for 4 days before she was rescued. Chloe says she wants her face shown as a warning for other women. She says the accused kidnapper, 33-year-old William Mazengo, offered her a ride home in Kenmore, Ohio. She made the mistake of accepting and ended up in the shed where she was beaten. It turns out Chloe Jones wasn't his first kidnapping victim. He was convicted of kidnapping another woman in Ohio in 2017, but was released after serving only 18 months in prison. Now that victim, Mackenzie Maston, is speaking out.
And the police were able to come in and swarm him, and the whole time during when he was getting in the cop car and everything else, he was screaming that he was going to finish what he started.
When you saw her black eyes, did you have those same black eyes?
Yes, it was one of the most scariest experiences of my life. I just can't believe that law enforcement and the court system is allowing him to keep reoffending.
What's going on, y'all? So I want to get on here right quick and just say this. This is for the women, and especially the women of Israel, because we the ones that got the problem. We're the ones that got caught up in the whole stigma of not needing a man, not wanting a man. We can do everything by our daggone self. You had one bad apple out of the tree, and you took that and ran with it. Let me just let you know this. Every man is not the same. It's about to come a time real soon that taking your clothes off, twerking, is not gonna get you money, but it's gonna get you raped and it's gonna get you killed. Because these people that they got waiting to come take over in these cities for a reason is not gonna play with you, and nobody's gonna be there to help you. It's gonna come a time that you want to stop disrespecting your husband and disrespecting your man, especially the righteous one. Because you don't need them. Because what you gonna do? You can't get out there and fight against another man. It's gonna be thousands of them. You can't get out there and go look for no food when you need it. What you gonna do? Medicine, all types of stuff. But y'all steadily disrespecting the man. And guess what? The scripture teaches that it's God first, the man, then the woman. We are not equal to men. We're not equal. Y'all need to face that up and realize that. And if you got a problem with me saying that, then you got a problem with the Most High. And that's something that you're going to be judged for. So don't come for me and don't get mad at me because I'm only saying facts. Y'all need to stop all this twerking, because it's going to come a day that twerking is not going to fill your stomach up. Lights going to be off, gas going to be off, you're going to be off the grid. What y'all going to do? No internet, no phone, none of that. What you going to figure out? You're going to be in the house alone with kids crying and begging and wish that you had a righteous man at that time, because that's the only man that the Most High is going to care for and is going to help and get him through these times. I'm just being authentic. I am being transparent, and I am being real. These are facts. This is prophecy. Y'all need to stop disrespecting men. Y'all need to stop talking about this frivolous stuff about money, clothes, cars. All that shit is about to be done away with. It's about to be done away with. It's going to come a time where y'all ain't even going to be worried about how many women a man got, because you're going to be trying to hold on to that man because you're going to need help. And that's real. And if you don't believe me, you better open up your Holy Bible. King James Version, if you ain't open it up one. And if you don't got one, you better go buy one. Because these words is about to disappear. And the word is going to disappear. And y'all going to be thirsty and hungry for it. And ain't nobody going to be talking about it, because you ain't going to be able to find nobody with it. So you better wake up and get right and stop all this nonsense, because it ain't getting you nowhere but to death.
Call Loyam La, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kakadash, Zab honest to the apostle of the Els Great Millstone, peace, citation, hope for elect, Shalom. I'm going to title this video, "This is why you women will be desperately seeking for a man of the Lord." Alright? So all that prideful, single, independent woman, all that bullshit that comes from feminism, that's going to be done away with in the times that we coming into. And that old feminist, prideful bitch spirit, that shit's going to be done away with as well once this society collapses. And the first scripture I'm going to bring out is Isaiah chapter 13 verse 12. It says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge will fear." And one thing you women going to realize in due time is that a man is going to be a prize in that day, especially out of all men, chiefly a men of the Lord. So in that time, it ain't going to matter how much money that man had, or like the other woman said in that video, the sister, she said that it's not going to matter about all the women that he had before and, you know, all the luxury that he had. What's going to mostly matter is that, you know, you getting with a man of the Lord, and you're going to have to share him whether you like it or not. And as you can see in that first clip, that brother that goes by the name La Yasharahla, he posted that video about a day ago regarding about this woman that was jogging, and what had happened was there was a man that literally tried to abduct her in broad daylight. How much more if she was out there in the night? And I believe they said that this happened in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. And then in the other clip, what had happened was there was this father that literally had to go in the bathroom, in the woman's bathroom, to help his daughter, you know, go to the bathroom safely. And there was a man in the woman's bathroom. And I think this was in the park. And I remember a few years ago, there was a thing where they were trying to allow transgenders, you know, to be in the bathrooms as women are in. And then that eventually caused a lot of, you know, backlash by the community, because there were some crimes that happened where there was men that actually dressed up as a woman and wore a wig just to try to, you know, rape women in the bathroom and to try to like molest children. So yeah, man, you know, that right there shows you that this is the reason why y'all need a man. And even in the other clip that I saw like about a couple days ago, where this woman was literally kidnapped and she got 2 black eyes, and what had happened was there was another woman that was in a similar situation, and when it happened to her, as she was saying on the news, she said that that man just only went to jail for 18 months, and while he was in the cop car, he literally made the threat that he's gonna come after her and do worse. And for a kidnapping charge, they're supposed to, you know, keep you in jail longer than 18 months. So it shows you how much the judicial system doesn't really care. And the closer we approach the end, you're going to see just a lot of crimes happening. It's going to be like the purge. And I got a beautiful precept that goes along with that. It says, Isaiah chapter 32 verse 2, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest. And that wind is talking about the destruction. Let's continue on. It says, as the rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So a woman going to be thirsting for a man of the Lord. Let me bring out the other precept for you prideful, arrogant woman that don't want to get right. It says in Isaiah chapter 32 verse 9, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. And in that time period, you women gonna realize that you are the weaker vessel after all. Once this government goes down, and once this whole society collapses, these men are gonna tap into their beast-like nature, because what's holding these men back is pretty much the law. You know, the law is what keeps a society in order, you know, especially when you have the police. And that's what's protecting you women from these men actually doing what they really intend on doing to you women. And like the sister said in that video, that last video that Amon Gabar posted on his channel, she said that how you ain't gonna be going out there, you know, twerking, you ain't gonna be going out to the clubs, you know, basically living the 304 lifestyle. That shit is gonna be done away with. Because as I speak, you already have foreign troops in this country, and they just waiting for the green light on trying to wreak havoc. And during the time of war, who's gonna be the biggest victims? Women and children. Y'all gonna be a target in that day. And in that time period, you're gonna be trafficked, and that booty that you've been working on so much, that cleavage that you've been working on so much, you know, your beauty that you've been working on, you're gonna realize in that time period that ain't gonna profit you in that time. That's gonna be a burden to you, because any man that comes across you is gonna pretty much be out there to seek your life. And it tells you that in Jeremiah the 4th chapter verse 30. In Isaiah chapter 3 verse 25 it says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And during World War III, you know what's going to take place in societies when the societies collapse. You're going to have a lot of societal wars. You're going to have race wars. You're going to have people that war with each other against their, you know, belief systems. You know, you're going to have wars against, you know, social classes such as like middle class, upper middle class, you know, poor people going to be fighting against each other. You're going to have wars against people who have different political beliefs, different, you know, communities they represent each other, whatever the case is. And you women are just going to be out there all defenseless if you don't have a man of the Lord. And that's majority of you women, since you want to live that whole independent lifestyle. And guess what's going to happen in that time? Esau's going to divorce you. You know, Esau's going to leave all you women for dead. And God forbid, you know, if you pretty much had your man on child support or alimony, you kicked your man out the house and put so much hell upon him. Because that's your ass in that day. And it says in Isaiah chapter 3 verse 26, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So basically you women are going to be brought down to a very low estate. You know, when you come across a man, you ain't going to be standing up all pridefully looking a man down like he nothing to you. You're going to be crying and weeping. You're going to be making sure you crawl to that man. You're going to be on your knees like a dog, you know. And in Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 30 it says, and when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Thy lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life. And you know, you women are still out there trying to focus on your aesthetic. You're still trying to focus on, you know, attracting men. And it's like, women don't realize that we really are in a time of war. You know, y'all not looking at the news, or y'all not seeing what's going on. It shows, you know, how simple y'all really are. Like, y'all are so simple to the point where you have to see the society collapse, like, already, just to realize that you women are pretty much, you know, y'all oblivious to, you know, to the things that's going on right now, because it has to happen right in front of you to really, for y'all to really realize that we're in serious times. And verse 31 says, "For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child, the voice of the daughter of Zion that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, Woe is me now, for my soul is wearied because of murderers." And when it's coming to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 16, that's sedition amongst men. You know, we come into a time period where, like I already mentioned, you know, people are going to be fighting against each other. You know, it's going to be all type of societal wars, and you women are going to be in the midst of that. No matter how tough you women try to act, you ain't about that life. Because what you're going to do when it's coming to a couple of men that's going to, you know, come in packs and take you down? What you going to do then? And then it's like you got super soldiers that's going to be pretty much invading this country, you know, coming from Russia, North Korea, you know, different countries that hate America. So you women are going to really be in desperate need for a man of the Lord. And it's going to be the last piece I'll bring out before I close. It says, Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 12, "And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, The Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore their good shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof." And when you go into the word booty, that basically goes into goods. In Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 1, you know, land is also referred to as like a possession, you know, as goods as well. Basically property. And a booty is basically property too. So you women, you know, you do belong to men, because just like how the men of the Lord, like men in general, are, well, mainly men in the nation of Israel, we belong to the Heavenly Father. We're his property. So you women, you're our property too. And if you women want to refute that and want to reject the fact that you belong to a man, well, hey, guess what? If you don't want to be taken by a righteous man, and you have to share that righteous man with a bunch of other, you know, righteous women, then you're going to be taken by a wicked man, and you're going to be shared amongst a bunch of wicked men, you know, as well as with other women in that same predicament. Because in this book of Sirach, it mentions, I believe in verse chapter 25, it mentions that how the wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, you know, and a righteous man is given to a righteous woman that feareth the Lord. And the woman in that second video clip that I showed from the Fox News, she was mentioning how she wanted to show her face as a lesson, you know, to other women out there, so they could pretty much get right and not do the same mistake that she did. In that time period that we come to, so you approach the end, there's going to be a lot of lessons that you women going to learn on why you need to share that man, and why you need to seek for a man in the Lord, and make sure that you keep him. And verse 14 says, "The great day of the Lord is near, it is near and hasted greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of the wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung." And in that time period, you women are going to really panic, see dead bodies piling up. You women are going to be fearing that. See, the things that y'all see in horror movies, you know, that's going to be a reality very soon. And if you could hardly see it behind the screen, how much more when it's really in front of your face. And I believe in Psalms the 91st chapter talks about how 1,000 shall fall at that side and 10,000 at that right, showing you that in that time period is going to be like survival of the fittest, and who's going to survive in that time is going to be the elect, and pretty much like the 1/3, and the 2/3 majority of the 2/3 are women, and just like the majority of the 1/3 is women as well. And it says in verse 18, this is the last one, it says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So if y'all want to get right, take heed to the warning, humble down and get right. And if you're not, then you're just going to get left for destruction. So with that, hope we may listen, edifying. Let's give all glory, praise, honor to Adonai Yahweh, Bashem Shamalak Yahweh Shah, Bashem Kakadash, to the honor of the apostle Millstone, peace, salutation, hope for elect. Shalom.